Which marketing tool is best for you to use? Is it email? Is it direct mail? Is it billboards? Is it radio? What is it? The answer is that I don't really know. I can take a guess if we were to have a brief conversation, but I don't really know. But you see, that is question number 5 of my series of 7 questions that I'm talking about with you. Last week I sent an email out, for example, asking people, do they prefer to watch video online or listen to podcasts? And the reason why I asked that is because here we are. I've been doing these now. This is what, my 136th, 137th video, okay, weekly video that I've been doing for quite a while now, and it's great, and I love the responses I get from you guys, and people say that they enjoy them. But I'm also asking the question, should I, what about podcasting? Are you more interested in receiving information through podcasts or through video? So that's the reason for the question. Because I need to find out where my moose are hanging out, right? And what how my moose prefer to consume information. And that's something we all need to be looking at, is which tool is best for reaching our moose. If we dig down into the big question, right? One of the things that tends to happen with companies is we get stuck on media. We get stuck on whether it's email marketing, or we say, we got to, Facebook advertising, or banner advertising, or trade advertising, or something like that. And part of the reason why we get stuck on that is because those tend to be the common tools that are used by our competition, other companies in our industry. And so we kind of tend to look at what everybody else is using, and we say, all right, is that what we should continue to be using? And the answer is, well, if they're using it, I guess that's what we should use. And really, that's not how it works. You really want to understand, and we've already had these questions, right? We want to understand our moose first. Who is our moose? And what are their needs? What are their wants? What are their wishes? What are their problems? What are their challenges? What are their obstacles? What are their aspirations? And then look for a message for us to be able to send out to them that they will respond to. Now, once we've got that information in place, then we say, okay, what tool do we use to get that message sent out to the moose? Well, question number 1 is, do our moose hang out there? And will our moose respond? So will they respond to email? Will they respond to radio advertising? Will they respond to billboard advertising? All of these tools are still great tools. For how long have we heard that trade shows are dying? No. Trade shows are not dying. Individual trade shows might die, and it's because they are no longer relevant. Individual trade shows, but trade shows overall, no, there are a lot of trade shows out there that are succeeding beyond everybody's expectations. They're doing really, really well. You can still, email people. There are articles out there now saying, is email dead? No, email is not dead. If your moose are still hanging out on email, then doggone it, you need to be using email. I mean, I would even go so far as to say, and I did a test a couple of years ago with one of my clients on this, because they didn't believe it when I said, you might want to think about using fax to communicate with your marketplace. They said nobody uses fax anymore, but you know what? And I'm not saying today, but just even a couple of years ago, there were still a lot of companies who had fax machines in their offices. And when that fax machine rings or rang, everybody would run. They'd want to go see who's sending us a fax, because nobody sends us faxes anymore. And it's also the same type of argument for direct mail. Is people say, oh, direct mail, nobody uses direct mail anymore. That's exactly why I want to use direct mail, because if I can reach my moose through direct mail, guess what? Everybody goes to their mailbox every single day. And if there isn't a lot of competition in that mailbox, I can stand out if I do it right. So the question of what medium are you using is based on your moose. Where are they hanging out? So, look at the media that you're using and ask yourself, are we only using this because we're stuck on it? This is our habit of using this. Are we actually getting return on investment from this tool? Are we getting responses? Can we connect that tool with real results? And even if it's a couple of steps to get to those real results? Or are we just doing this because it feels good? Are we doing this because we think we need to get awareness? I've never cashed a check on awareness, and I have no interest in just building awareness. I want response. I want call to action. I want people to respond to me. That's what I want. Are we just using media that everybody else in our industry is using? And if we are, then we might want to take a look at something else. Because one of the best pieces of advice we can have for separating ourselves from the competition is look at what everybody else is doing and then don't do it. Another question to ask yourself is, when was the last time you tried a different media and you tried it correctly? And that's a real big, that's one of the tough things about medias, is that there are ways to use medium. It doesn't matter whether it's email, direct mail, banner advertising, trade shows, it doesn't matter. There are ways to approach those that is correct, and there are other ways that is common. There are other ways to approach that are what I would just call common and not so correct. Okay, so the big question for the media is, number one, is your moose hanging out there? Number two, will your moose respond in there? Okay, and that's those are the big questions. Can you grow on? Can you use it to grow? And can you use it to separate yourself from the competition? So that's the question, right? Which media are you using? Which media should you be using? And are you using the media correctly? Okay. Now, if you haven't heard or haven't seen, and if something hasn't popped up on the screen here for you with a pop-up window about our latest little giveaway, we've got a download for you that you can get 25 tips, tools, stuff, things that I've collected and thought about and maybe stolen from other people. You want to get it. You definitely want to get it. If you haven't signed up for it, go ahead and sign up for it now. And then, in addition to getting that 25 tips, you will also receive weekly email, or not weekly, but you'll periodic emails from Kay, my smoking hot wife Kay, because she's going to be expanding on some of the topics that are in there, as well as adding some that are not necessarily in that list. So make sure you sign up for that down below. And of course, this is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad and marketing gunslinger. Thanks for joining me this week on my Uncopyable Business video. I'll be back again next week. Same time, same back channel. And like I said, in the meantime, always be uncopyable. So I'll see you next time.